Hi guys! Oh, let me fix this. Welcome back to The Cozy Alchemist. I'm your girl Ashley and we cozy today. We vibing. We here. And we're about to get into this stack of books that I got pretty much for my birthday, which was in June, and go over what I got and what they're about and what I'm excited to get into. I'm so excited. So, with that being said, let's start this video. As I mentioned before, this is year 37 for me. June was my birthday, and I don't know, 37 just feels like 40. Like I just rounded up. Like we just rounding it. We just rounded straight up. I'm 40, y'all. I don't feel like I'm taking years off of my life. I just feel like I'm accepting things as they are. I've always been like this. I've always given people my wrong age because it just, I don't know, like mentally, I just don't be absorbing like you are 36. When I was 36, I was telling people I was either 26 or I was 40. Like, you see what I mean? Like, it was never, it was either too young or too old. People ask me all the time. I get my age wrong. It just don't really matter to me. Like, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to have another life here, but the number is just a number. I don't know how else to explain that. But this year I really promised myself to just allow myself to exist in the things that help me be the best version of myself. And I'm learning that it is okay to have fun things that help you be your best version. I'm rolling that over, like rollover minutes. If you remember what rollover minutes are, I'm giving away my age. From last year, from the practices. And so I'm really proud of myself. I really started before June. I got myself into dance classes. So now I take bachata dance classes. And I really did that because I just wanted to connect with my body. I wanted to connect with my sensuality. I wanted to connect with music even more. And I wanted to have a professional teach me how to move within bachata sensual. And it's a dance and a music that I've always loved. I just loved it so much. And so I was like, it's time for me to have a teacher, to have somebody teach me. And so I found someone, and I absolutely adore my classes. I adore the instructor. He's a Gemini. We get along fine. He's fire. His classes are amazing. And I have taken myself out on dates, which I probably have posted that vlog already, but I took myself out on dates just to have some me time, take off all the hats and just be Ashley. And so I'm really looking forward to this year of 37 or i.e. 40. And you know, just existing authentically and really honestly just letting myself exist wholly in myself instead of bits and pieces of myself depending on who's in the room or who's around, or feeling like one part of myself isn't good enough to be seen by other people, so then I only give this part of it. And we're not doing that. You get 100% as is, as televised, as is. It is what it is. So anyways, with that being said, these are some of the books that I got for my birthday from my hubby. My uncle, shout out to my uncle, sent me some money and got me some books. And so we are going to go through these. And but before I do, I know I'm chatty, but like these nails, have you seen these nails? They're amazing. And it's really funny though, because these are not the nails I originally ordered. You guys know I like long nails. If you don't know, you can just check it out on my other videos. I love me some long nails. And I ordered them and I didn't get them the length I wanted. And so I was so bummed. But they were like, they had great customer service. They were like, you know what? Tell us what you want. We'll make it for you. We will get them the way you want them. And so they I paid for these, but they gave me not only another set, the correct length for free, they let me order a whole nother pair for free. So I got 2 sets for free. And I was like, press-on nails are not cheap. They're not cheap. Like, they aren't. And so I really appreciated that. I appreciated their hard work. So this is the original. Oh yeah, hold on. Original length. These are long. Like, can you, like, that's the length. This is the length I originally, if I can get it to stay up here. This is the length that I originally wanted, and this is the length they sent me. These are so, like, dope. I love them so much. My husband was like, oh, you're low-key nails. And I was like, low-key? And he was like, yeah, low-key, like Loki and Thor. And I was like, bruh, yeah, these are my low-key nails. Have the short ones on now. And I think I've had these on for almost 3 weeks now. I be giving you the tips, but y'all don't be watching my videos. I be giving you the tips for press-on girlies. Maybe you don't do nails. Maybe you want to do press-ons. I be giving the tips. And then these are my Nezuko nails. Aren't they so cute? Oh my gosh, I love them so much. They're so pretty. So yeah, I know I'm very chatty in this video, but I had to show you my nails. And I had to talk about my birthday, so, you know, here it is. They're so pretty. So with that being said, I will put the information in the description box below, but just know they do not have nail sizers. You have to measure with a tape measure, and that never comes out right for my nails. And they did not get my order right the first time, but the customer service was amazing. So if you're wanting to, if that's not an issue for you, then go for it. Go for it. Go for it. I'm not going to tell you to stop, not do it. Your money. But they cute. They cute, y'all. I be feeling myself. All right. Anyways, let's get into. All right. So our first one, my hubby got it for me, and it is the Dallergut. I think I'm saying that right. Dallergut Dream Department Store, the Korean #1 bestseller. The dream you ordered is sold out. Can we take a moment for this beautiful cover? Like, just gorgeous. Just gorgeous cover. And then it opens up and you like have potions on both sides. It does that. And I'm just like, oh, it's just so pretty. It's beautiful. So this is pretty much based on a department store that sells dreams. And it is originally in Korean, translated work. We love it. And it says, in a mysterious town hidden in our collective subconscious, there's a department store that sells dreams. Day and night, visitors, both human and animal, shuffle in to purchase their latest adventure. Each floor specializes in a specific type of dream. Childhood memories, ice skating, dreams of stardom, your crush. Flying dreams are almost always sold out. Dreams of your favorite food make you feel like you can almost taste it. Join Penny, an enthusiastic new hire, as she uncovers the working of this whimsical world and bonds with a cast of unforgettable characters, including Miss Weather, her reliable confidant, Baby Nap Rockabye, a famous dream designer, Maxim, a nightmare producer, and Dallergut himself, the flamboyant and genius mastermind behind the store. I love this. I want to live in it. It's everything I think a book should be. So I'm excited to jump into this. Let me know if you've read it, how you feel about it. I have a lot of international like translated works on my list, and so sometimes getting translated work is where you need to be. It's where you need to be. Okay, so this next one is actually a manga. It is the second one of the Lord Hades' Ruthless Marriage. And it is the second one. I read and finished the first one in April on our trip to California. I just loved it. I loved it. It is based on Hades and Persephone. I can never say her name right to save my life. It's a retelling. It's just a manga retelling of it. Y'all should know. I don't even gotta say it. Y'all know how I feel about Hades and Perf. Like, y'all know I love it. I'll eat it up every single time. And so I really thought the first one was funny. It's very cute. It's very charming. We have Hades. He is trying to get married off. His brother, Zeus, is trying to marry him off. And, you know, everyone's excited and everyone wants to get involved. Perth ends up showing up for some reason. Still haven't figured out exactly why, other than she's trying to run away from her mom and her mom kind of mothering and smothering her. And Hades is like, I don't want love. I don't want a marriage. I see how all my brothers do with their marriages and their women. Not great. Why would I want that for myself? I'm fine. Thank you. But the people around him are just full of shenanigans. And it's hilarious because he's so dry and he's so like, I'm not doing this. But he kind of starts to soften up. And it's cute. It's very cute. It's very kick your feet. It's very lighthearted. So I'm excited to get into the second one and the third one and however many ones after that. Like, I want the whole collection. So yeah, this is one of the new ones. All right, our next one is Heartstopper number 5. This is the last one I believe that is coming out or that is out. I don't know. I feel like they're finishing high school and going to university, maybe, possibly. I have not read the 4th one yet. The 4th one I got for Mother's Day. I know it's been a minute, but there's something about this that makes me not want to read all of it because I just want to stay in the characters' lives a little bit longer without it ending. That's how I know it's a good book for me. It's like I stall to finish it, which is also horrible because then I don't really get to know what happens. But eventually I get over it. That's the good part. So this is the 5th one. If you don't know, well guys, it's Heartstopper. It is considered a young adult youth graphic novel. It is based on Nick and Charlie's relationship, romantic relationship, their daily lives, the friends in their lives, their parents. It revolved around characters within the LGBT community, allies, and it is so wholesome. It is so sweet and just cute, and it does not center around queer, gay, lesbian trauma, which I love that for us. I love that we have something that is wholesome and that is cute and that just it's a couple that exists in their lives as they exist in high school and their friends and the support they get. And so I have not gotten into 4 and 5, so I don't know what happens. I know there are some serious topics that do come up, and I'm interested to see how Alice really goes and digs into them. She's an amazing writer. The way she talks about certain things and dealing with things in life, within being in the community and just being a human being existing and having your own traumas and things that you need to work on. And so I'm really looking forward to digging into number 5 after I get to 4, and then I will either wait to see if there's another one. I don't know if there's going to be another one, or I will just jump it right into the Netflix series. I do believe I watched 3, maybe 4 episodes back when it first came out, and then I was like, no, I gotta read the graphic novel. What am I doing? And so maybe I'll jump into that. I don't know. I'll let you guys know. But I'm in love with this whole series. Always 5 stars. Nothing less. Ever. Just ever. No, don't expect that from me. All right. The next one. I have been wanting to get my hands on this since I started my TBR. My long TBR. How to Solve Your Own Murder. This is by Kristen Perrin. And it just intrigued me pretty much. It said Frances Adams always said she'd be murdered, and she was right. In 1965, Frances Adams is at an old English country fair where a fortune teller makes a bone-chilling prediction. One day, Frances will be murdered. It is a prediction that sparks her life's work, trying to solve a crime that hasn't happened yet. You got me there. I'm already sold. And then it says, nearly 60 years later, Annie Adam is summoned to a meeting at a sprawling country estate of her wealthy, reclusive great aunt, Frances. But by the time Annie arrives in the quadrant English village of Castle Knoll, Frances is found murdered, just like she always said she would be. Dang, she got. Annie's determined to catch the killer, and thanks to Frances's lifelong habit of digging up secrets and lies, it seems every endearing and eccentric villager might just have a motive for her murder. Can Annie safely unravel the dark mystery at the heart of Castle Knoll, or will dredging up the past throw her into the path of a killer? Because when have you ever not gone to solve a murder and the murderer not want to also off the person trying to figure it out, right? As Annie gets closer to the truth and closer to danger, she starts to fear that she might inherit her great aunt's fate instead of her fortune. Cute. Yeah, I'm here for it. How to solve your own murder. I love a good whodunit, and this is like a whodunit with a twist, so I'm hoping it is as delicious as it seems to me, and maybe it will tickle a part of my brain that, you know, I didn't know needed to be scratched. That's the word. Maybe it will scratch a part of my brain that I didn't know it needed to be scratched. So we'll see. Our next one is Sign Here by Claudia Lux, and this just seems like I should pick it up. It says, Peyote Trip has a pretty good gig in the deals department on the 5th floor of Hill. Sure, none of the pens work. The coffee machine has been out of order for a century, and the only drink on offer is Jägermeister, but Pei has a plan, and all he needs is one last member of the Harrison family to sell their soul. When the Harrisons retreat to the family lake house for the summer with their daughter Mickey's precocious new friend Ruth in tow, the opportunity Pei has waited a millennium for might finally be in his grasp, and with the help of his charismatic co-worker Calamity, he sets a plan in motion. But things aren't always as they seem on Earth or in Hell, and as old secrets and new dangers scrape away at the Harrisons' shiny surface, revealing the darkness beneath, everyone must face the consequences of their choices. I don't know. Something about it just says, like, you're going to enjoy this. You're going to enjoy the fact that he works in the deals department on the 5th floor of Hell. Come on. He working for the man. He worked for the man. And he's like, I'm trying to move up. I'm trying to be somewhere and do something. And I'm going to get y'all to sell your soul for me. I just need one last member from this family. So how many people in this family has sold their soul away? Like, get it together. Get it together. I feel like this is going to be funny. I feel like it's going to be good. I feel like the twist is going to be twisting. And I will keep you guys posted when I pick it up and start reading it. Alright, our next one is The Teller of Small Fortunes by Julie Leong. And this one I definitely gravitated towards because it is about a fortune teller. So she gives only and only tells small fortunes, but even if it's a lonely life, it's better than the one she's left behind. But a small fortune unexpectedly becomes something more when a semi-reformed thief and an ex-mercenary recruit her into their desperate search for a lost child. Soon they're joined by a baker with a need for adventure and of course a slightly magical cat. But as she lowers her walls, the shadows of her past close in, and she'll have to decide whether to risk everything to preserve the family she thought she never could have. So this just seems really, really cute, really cozy, maybe a little bit of adventure, but totally. And there's a cat in it. I'm here for it. And her tea looks good. That reminds me, I need to make some tea. Alright, so I actually grabbed 3 from this stack because you're gonna know when you see them why these needed to be on my shelf. But they are the 5th season, Legendborn, and Slay. So the 5th season, I've been wanting to get my hands on an NK Jemisin book because Black author, I am here to support and I absolutely love it. And this sounds like a very much end of the world fantasy, maybe high fantasy, and I'm excited. I don't know anything about any of the characters. I just know that this has been on my TBR for such a long time, and I have heard that her work is phenomenal. So when I had that birthday money and I walked up in half price bookstores, I was like, let me get one of these, please. And they were like, you want the second one? I was like, hold on. Let me get through her and then we'll come back. So I'm super excited about getting into her work. So excited. And this is book 1 in a trilogy, I believe. And then we have Legendborn, which the Oathbound came out, I want to say not too long ago, maybe 2 months ago, and I was like, I really need to catch up. I'm really behind. So Legendborn we have by Tracy, and she wrote about we have Bree, who goes to this high school, and she finds out and witnesses that there is like magical beings in existence. There is a secret society, and this is around, there's a lot of like Merlin, King Arthur story development around it. She's a Black main character, Black author. Just ooh, I'm just so excited, and I've heard so many good things about each of the books in the I don't know if it's I don't know if there's 3 books or there's going to be 4 books, but I've heard so many good things. Like I'm not going to question whether or not I'm going to like this or not. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to eat this up. I'm going to just eat it all up. And then the last one is called Slay by Brittney Morris, and it is about Black gamers. So this is about a Black gamer. Her name is Kiara Johnson, and she is an honor student, a math tutor, and one of the only Black kids in Jefferson. Only Black kids at Jefferson Academy, but at home she joins hundreds and thousands of Black gamers who duel worldwide as Nubian personas in a secret multiplayer online role-playing card game called Slay. No one knows Kiara is a game developer, not her friends, not her family, not even her boyfriend Malcolm, who believes video games are a distraction to keep the Black man from becoming great. But when a teen in Kansas City is murdered over a dispute in the Slay world, news of the game reaches mainstream media, and Slay is labeled a racist, exclusionist, violent hub for thugs and criminals. Even worse, Kiara faces potential being sued for anti-white discrimination, and an anonymous troll infiltrates the game, threatening to harass all the players and take over. Driven to save the only world in which she can be herself, Kiara must preserve her secret identity and harness what it means to be unapologetically Black in a world intimidated by Blackness. But can she protect her game without losing herself in the process? Because girl, come on, like, let us be. So I was like, I need that. I need all of those to be part of my book collection. Representation is important. I always say that. I will always continue to say that on this channel. So I'm super excited for those. All right, so we have 4 more left, and so I want to take the time to just remind you really quickly, you should be following me on Fable. We should be Fable friends, because there you are going to see what I'm actually reading in real time, instead of the videos that get posted like after the fact or like months later, because I don't upload everything in order. That's just not how my brain works as a YouTuber. So if you would really like to know what I am currently reading right now, my thoughts on it, my reviews on things, please make sure you're following me on Fable. Send me a message. Let me know, hey, I follow you on YouTube and I wanted to be a Fable friend, and I will definitely start up a conversation with you, follow you back, and we can be book friends. And then also, any book that you ever see on any of my videos, past or future, I am going to make sure that my bookshop.org page is updated and has all of the books, so that if you see anything on here, you can just go straight to that QR code or the link in the description and you can purchase it. It goes to supporting an indie bookstore from the bookshop.org, which I love. That being said, we're going to jump right back into the books. So the next one is The Deadly Deadly Shadows, and this was kind of sold to me as, if you love Demon Slayer or any anime that kind of has that esque to it, then you would definitely be interested with this. It is pretty much about our main character. She is a girl who is ignored, bullied, not really seen. She doesn't fit in anywhere. People really don't pay attention to her. She's just forgotten. And she feels at home and safe in her grandfather's shrine. It's a Shinto shrine, and there's like a lot of like spiritual, mystical, like there's a half fox, half boy that ends up joining her team. They are working together with other mystical beings that are trying to protect the world from darkness, because there is this apparently demon lord who is just, he's trying to bring everlasting darkness upon the world. And they're like, we're not having it. Let's get a team together. Come on, let's get it. You, let's go. And so now this quiet, unseen, not really listened to girl is risking everything to save the world. So like, it's just gonna be a journey. I think we're gonna fall in love with the characters. I think it's gonna be newfound family, action. I'm here for it. I love it. The next one is The Inheritance of Orquidea Divina. And I have had this on my TBR for a very long time, and so it's about time I got it. This is pretty much about Orquidea Divina. She is the matriarch. She invites them to her funeral, and they hope to learn the secrets that she has held on to for so tightly. Instead, she is transformed and leaving them with more questions than answers. So 7 years later, her gifts have manifested in different ways for Marimar, Ray, and Rhiannon, granting them unexpected blessings. But soon a hidden figure begins to tear through their family tree, seeking to destroy her line. So determined to save their family and uncover the truth behind their inheritance, they travel to Ecuador, to the place where Orquidea buried her secrets and broken promises and never looked back. I love that the author is from Ecuador, so there is that aspect that is coming into play here, her knowledge and her connection. And so I'm super excited to read this story and figure out what's going on with this family. And I'm here for it. I'm here to see what is the inheritance. Okay, we got the 2 more left. This one is One Last Stop. And I was like, we're in Pride Month. What am I doing? I need to have at least one really gay book besides Heartstopper. And so I decided to get One Last Stop. And it is about a cynical 23-year-old. Because most 23-year-olds in this day and age, come on, I expect it, like I understand. So our 23-year-old August, she is cynical, moving to New York City is supposed to prove her right that things like magic and cinematic love stories don't exist, and the only smart way to go through life is alone. She can't imagine how waiting on tables at 24-hour pancake diner and living in with too many weird roommates could possibly change that. And there's certainly no chance of her subway commute being anything more than a daily trudge through boredom and electrical failures. But then there's this gorgeous girl on the train. Jane. Dazzling, charming, mysterious, impossible Jane. Jane with her tough edges, swoopy hair, and soft smile, showing up in a leather jacket to save August's morning when she needs it most. August's subway crush becomes the best part of her day, and pretty soon she discovers there's one big problem. Jane doesn't just look like an old school punk rocker, she's literally displaced in time from the 1970s, and August is going to have to use everything she tried to leave in her own past to help Jane. Maybe it's time to start believing in some things after all. This sounds magical, this sounds cute, this sounds right up my alley, so I am excited to learn what happened. Happy Pride, by the way. And if you're watching this and it's not June, it's still Happy Pride. 365 days a year. Alright, for this last one, I wasn't gonna get it brand new, but it just kept calling to me. But here we are. We got our hands on The Devil. I've heard so much about Joe and his writing, and it just seemed a lot for me to try to get into some of his series. So when this came out, I was like, yes, this sounds great. And so here we are. I'm laughing because I I tend to not get hardcover new books. I really try not to because they cost a pretty penny. But oh God, here we are, and I get it. It's like we have a moment, we're gonna have a little moment. I usually don't have these moments, so we're just gonna have, look, y'all, look. It's just, it's really, it's I get it. I get it. We get a priest who is trying to climb up the power ladder in the priesthood, and he is sent to do some work. He's sent to do some work with some of the lowliest people, you know, drug dealers, murderers, just the thieves, all kinds of stuff. Change them from their unholy ways. They end up banding together and going on a quest together. This is a quest-centered story, and it's found family, and I hear that it's great. I have not heard very many complaints about this. Now, granted, it's new, but I have not heard any complaints, and it just really, the premise of the story, of this journey, of how all of these different characters, you get to go on a journey with them, learn their history while they're going on this journey, and you fall in love with them. I know this was spoken to be just this one, like a standalone, but it sounds like it might not be a standalone. There might be other books after this, which is fine because I'm hitting it in the beginning. I don't know what it is about series that have like 6 books or 9. As much as I am a person who loves series and can get into a series, that's just intimidating at times. So I'm happy if this becomes a series. At least I got the first one. You know what I'm saying? But it sounds divine. I love a play. There's a little bit of religious like horror to it, and play, and you know, if you know my story, you know why I'm all for that. I'm here for it. I love it. So I'm gonna dip into Joe and see how I like his writing, how I like his characters and their character development. I'm excited. Again, because I've heard so many good things about his writing, and so this felt like the time for me to just snatch and grab and get it. So we're gonna dive into this. Alright guys, well, this is it for this video. These are the books I'm looking forward to diving into. Again, I might do a wrap-up video because I love to wrap up my books and then put labels on them and completely forget what I have and pretend like I have my own bookstore and just go in and grab something. But we'll see if I do that. I will just let me know in the comments below if you love that kind of video. I believe I have one. I will have it somewhere up here before the end of this video, so you can go check that out and see if that's something you would like to see more of. And yeah, let me know if you've read any of these books, or if some of these books happen to be on your own TBR. How close are you to getting to them? Because my TBR be long, friend. It'd be so long. But thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me. Leave a comment below. Make sure you subscribe and like this video. That helps me so much. And guess what? I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye, friend.